I live in the Philippines, and it was 12:30. We were normally falling back in line after lunch, still talking about the scares of graduation being cancelled. The new coronavirus was spreading all around the world, and it was threatening the week of graduation. Apparently, the disease was spreading much quicker than anticipated, and it was barely delayed by the government, but the disease got better of the situation and spread everywhere. I just shrugged off, as all these scares and threats, knowing that it sure as hell is not going to reach us, or so I thought. The loud principal got over the intercom, sounding panicked, and said, "All students, please proceed to your respective classrooms immediately. Please prepare your emergency kits and safety masks, as reported cases of the new deadly virus have been apparently spreading under the scares of the coronavirus. I repeat, proceed to the respective classrooms. Prepare your emergency kits immediately. Lock all doors in the classroom. Make sure every window and crack is sealed, and all is wearing safety masks. The school is now declared on lockdown." Panic got the better of us students, all hurriedly running to our classrooms. Some were left behind. People in hazmat suits kept roaming around the school, and suddenly the atmosphere of the situation got dark. I was in section 1B. We followed the instructions properly, and our homeroom advisor guided us into what to do during the situation. We covered the windows with paper and tape, and sealed the door cracks with towels and cloths. And we waited. We waited until the intercom announcement, almost an hour later. The principal, now in a much calmer but slightly odd tone, spoke in a different voice and said, "We now advise all the homeroom advisors, please take off your masks and head outside and leave one student of the class in charge. We encourage our advisors and coordinators to participate in the cleaning of the school grounds. You will be provided with all the necessary equipment needed. For all the students, please remain in your classrooms and stay calm. We will get to you immediately." Something about what the principal said was off. It sounded like he was different, inhuman, or more likely, insane. Our homeroom advisor followed as instructed and went outside, but left one of his associated workers to take care of us while they handled the situation. The police had apparently been already called, and they are on the way. We received no more calls from the intercom for the next 2 hours, and decided to turn off the lights to avoid attracting attention from the other teacher's operation, or something. And then we heard it. We heard something sharp, constantly hitting the tiles of the hallway right outside our room. Tick, 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 tick. It constantly got louder and louder, and soon we were able to make out the silhouette of what it was through the paper on the windows. One of my classmates blurted out, "Mr. McWright," which turned out to be a horrible idea. The silhouette slowly turned its head in a complete 90 degrees, in a perfect motion. Its body followed right after, and then it clicked, lifted his arm, and ripped some sort of mask on, and revealing the shadow of what looks like tentacles. It dashed out our window and slammed its arm against the window, but without enough force to break it. It kept gnawing and grabbing at the door until it broke. "It broke," was the only thing I could say, and as a whisper. All of us panicked, running at every hiding spot we knew from the room. I managed to get in one of my classmates' lockers and had a perfect view of the other locker doors' openings. I peeked out and got relieved to find that everyone has found a spot in the room. I couldn't make out a view of the near area near the window, but I was sure it was coming. I've successfully hid in this locker for about an hour now. That thing has just been roaming around the room, breaking our seats and scratching at metal surfaces. I don't know how I can survive like this, with the fact that Larry apparently got out of his spot and thought it was gone. It wasn't, but Larry's still alive. He hid in the locker right next to mine and loudly took a deep breath. We assumed the thing heard it. I can hear the shuffling sounds of ticking near my locker door. I kept peeking through my opening, trying to get a sense of where it was. On my 14th peek, I saw it, and I will never think that I would be able to pass it off. I had Mr. McWright's body, but its head was an amalgamation of tentacles, 4 sunken eyes, and a circular-shaped mouth with teeth. This isn't true, I thought to myself. It's just an hallucination. This can't be real. And then it spoke, the words that I didn't want to hear and I will never hear again. Hello, young man. Open the door already. I don't know what popped in my mind, but I went blank. I couldn't feel anything. My body started moving on its own, my arms shuffling like crazy, and it hit me. This is what happened to Mr. McWright. My hand jolted out from the side and hastily opened the door. I didn't tell it to do that, but it did. And I said, "Is it my turn?" without knowing that I moved an inch. It was a normal day, and a boring day of school, as always. I was in the biology class picking some stuff for my teacher when the principal spoke. All teachers must lock their classroom doors. Stay quiet and turn off your lights. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. Now, when I heard him, I really thought it was a school lockdown drill, since we did a lot of those in the previous years. But something in his voice told me it really wasn't a drill. So as I was away from my classroom, I left the teacher's things there and left the classroom quietly. I started heading to my class, and when I got there, I quietly knocked on the door. "Hey, Mrs. Rose, it's me, Toby. Can I please come in? I don't want to meet the intruder." "I'm sorry, Toby, but I can't let you in. The principal called and he said to not let anyone in or out." Mrs. Rose was a lady in her mid-40s, married with one kid. She was a sweet type that would give out candy to her students at the end of the year, but she also held her positions very well, and I knew she would not give in. I left, thinking about where to go, and the school's generator room popped in my head. Since my school is kind of big, it was fairly far away. I started heading that way when I heard someone behind me. It was a police unit. I didn't even know why they were called. Lucky me, I guess, huh? Nope. "Hey kid, you know there's someone bad out here, right?" "Yes, officer, but I was at the bathroom when it happened. I wasn't going to give him a full-on explanation of how I got into this situation." "Well, did you—" He didn't even finish his first phrase when some humanoid creature appeared behind him and slashed his head off. I was paralyzed. It must have been at least 6'7". It was naked, no hair anywhere on its body. It had big, round black eyes. When its eyes locked on me, I let out a loud scream and it charged at me. I barely dodged it. This thing is extremely fast. I started running the other way, which was luckily the way to the generator room. That thing, I don't even know what to call it, started running after me. It almost got me when I suddenly turned a corner, which caught it off guard, and had to turn around and come after me again. I was already halfway down the hall. I will not make it to the generator room in time, I thought to myself. I turned another corner, the thing about 10 meters back, catching up quick. I entered a bathroom and quickly ran in the farthest stall. I heard a voice. Who is that? I recognized that voice as my classmate, Duncan. I always hated this guy. Bully type, dumb as heck, all the stereotypes of a high school bad boy. It's Toby. Now shut up. There's some creature out there, I said quietly. What creature are you talking about? Right as he spoke, I heard the bathroom door open, and the thing started searching for me. It heard Duncan's voice and probably thought it was me, hiding from it. It started opening the stalls one by one, and luckily, I was in the last one, just after Duncan. When it got to Duncan, I heard him yell out, "What the heck?" and then let out a horrified scream. It killed Duncan. Even though I hated Duncan, I still felt bad for him, dying to this creature. After it killed Duncan, it left, in search for more kills. After I stopped hearing its steps, I left the stall too, and looked out the bathroom to see which way it went. I saw it turn a corner, towards the principal's office, which was the way I need to go to get to the generator room. It's better going in an empty classroom, I thought to myself. I didn't see it check any classrooms anyway, so why would it? I searched for an empty classroom and it was a chemistry laboratory. I locked the door after me. The light was already off. I headed to the closet. Everyone hides in closets, right? Yes, everyone does. Because when I opened the door to the closet, some girl almost hit me with a mop. but she stopped just in time. She was a classmate from elementary school. What's going on out there? Who was making the screams I heard? She asked, very confused. There's some kind of creature out there. It killed Duncan and a police officer, I said to her. She had a puzzled look on her face. What creature? And Duncan is dead? She said in a panic-evident voice. I don't know what it is, but it almost killed me too. So let's hide until we can safely leave, I said. I looked through the keyhole and saw the thing pass. I stumbled back and it stopped dead in its tracks. It headed my way as it heard me fall. I took Emma's hand and quickly entered the closet with her, just as that thing broke down the door. Emma let out a fearful breath, but I covered her mouth and signed her to shut up. The thing stopped and looked around, and when it wandered its eyes toward the closet, I thought we were dead, but it kept walking. It looked around for a good 5 minutes, then it left. What the heck is that? Emma asked. I don't really know. I was in the biology lab when I heard the principal. I started going towards my classroom, and since that stubborn Mrs. Rose did not let me in, I wanted to go to the generator room. On my way there, I saw a police officer and he spoke to me. I told him I was in the bathroom, and then the creature killed him. I ran from it, and somehow I got a lead and hid in a bathroom. Duncan was there, and the thing came in and killed him. After that, I came here and found you. That is all that happened to me until now. Wow, I can't believe Duncan is dead. I didn't really like him, but I still feel bad, I guess, she said, still taking in all I had to say. Yeah, me neither. He was such an a-hole to everybody. Okay, so do we wait it out and see what happens? Emma said, not much hope in her voice. Well, I guess that's what we do.